today we are going to make one of my favorite vegan guilty pleasures, which is General Tso's tofu. We are going to need my crispy fried tofu for this recipe. So if you missed that video, I will put a link in the description below where you can find that. And as usual, I will also put a link in the description for the recipe if you want to follow along. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is make a little cornstarch slurry here. I'm going to take a tablespoon of cornstarch and mix it up with a 1/4 cup of coconut aminos. You can also use low sodium soy sauce if you prefer. Next, I'm going to mix up the main ingredients for my sauce. I'm going to start with 3/4 of a cup of low sodium vegetable broth. And I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of rice wine, a 1/4 cup of white wine vinegar, or if you can get rice wine vinegar, use that. A 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 5 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, and a tablespoon of toasted sesame oil. I'm just gonna mix all of that up and set it aside. Now I'm gonna just chop up a tablespoon each of garlic and ginger, just mince it very finely. I also need about 3/8 of a cup of dried red chilies. That's about 20 chilies. And I'm gonna remove the stems and the seeds from the chilies. Of course, if you don't like spice, you can reduce the number of chilies or leave them out entirely. It's totally up to you. You can get red chilies from China online. I'll put a link in the description below where you can get them, but you can also use whatever chilies you can find at your local grocery store. I'm in Miami, so I was able to find arbol chilies. Just do some research ahead of time so you know the heat level of each different type of chili that you're buying before you buy it. So over on the stove, I'm gonna heat up a tablespoon of oil in my saute pan, and then I'm just gonna add the garlic, ginger, and chilies to the pan and cook it for about a minute until the garlic turns golden. Then I'm gonna add my sauce mix, not my cornstarch slurry, but my main sauce to the pan. Add it carefully because it might splatter a little bit. Add it and let it cook for about a minute. Then you wanna add your cornstarch slurry, which you may need to mix up again in case the cornstarch has settled. Add that in, mix it up, let it cook for 3 to 4 more minutes until it is nice and thick, and that's it. Now you can just toss the tofu right into the pan and serve it with some rice, broccoli if you want, green onions, whatever you feel like. If you're not gonna eat all of it right away, don't put all the tofu in the sauce, only put the tofu in the sauce that you're gonna eat right away because it will stay a little bit crispier if you refrigerate it while it is dry rather than wet. Alright, well that is all for this one. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you have an idea for a recipe that you want to see made vegan and maybe you can't find a good vegan recipe for it, just leave me a comment and hey, maybe I will make it in a future video. In the meantime, I will see you in the next one.